We're taking a look at a game called Citizen Sleeper, which I believe is a turn-based RPG of some description. Got it in a Steam summer sale just recently. It's been on my wish list to check out for a while. And here we are. Choose my character class. Boy, we're just jumping right into this. I can be an operator, an extractor. Oh, that's it. I can be an operator or an extractor. Oh, or a machinist. I have 3 class choices. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. The operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. I feel like those 3 descriptions are not significantly different from one another. Extractors are confident and self-sufficient. Operators are cerebral and precise. And machinists are diligent, careful, and structured. Those 3 things don't sound mutually exclusive to me. You'd think with 3 class choices they would be 3 radically different sort of archetypes. I don't know why, but I'm gonna pick machinist. Very loud music there. Pegging the needles on OBS. Where are you? Says presumably someone named Unknown. Someone named Unknown. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. So I think we're going to need to make some choices. I feel like I want to use my random dice roller for this. My dice roller is set to roll a d6. So if it's 1 through 3, I will think about the body. If it's 4 through 6, I will forget that body. It's a 5. You resist nostalgia. It is pointless, especially now. This is the moment to reach out, not curl inwards. This is your moment of escape, even if it feels immediately like you traded one prison for another, smaller, colder, lifeless. Reach out. You almost laugh, or you would if there was room, or even air to do so. The walls of the container are immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Let's roll another d6 to choose our choice. We roll another 5. Let's remember the others. You remember there were 10 of you, 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day, until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Rolling another d6. It's a 3, so we're gonna wait for the cold. That's all there is now. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but even then your body has shut many of its systems down to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again, recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. I will rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light, white as the cold, then softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. And here we are. We are out. What does that mean? Dragos, Pragmatic Salvager. Is that me? Okay. The scroll wheel goes up and down, which is not what I expected. WASD rotates the... Whoa! W goes super fast. I guess I'm going to click on Dragos, the Pragmatic Salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a container... Ugh. Cough, cough. I don't know why, but whenever I get something stuck in my throat, it always comes out when I say H words, like hours. A few hours. If there's some problem with my throat, that is when it will manifest. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard. Huddled is another word that induces problems with my throat. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. So I click between items and data and nothing happens. I'm remembering why I bought this game now. I think I bought this game because it was described as sort of a choose-your-own-adventure kind of a game. And I was looking for a couple of those kind of games because I wanted to try rolling dice to choose dialogue options. So I installed this whole dice rolling mod on OBS just for this purpose, for a game like this. Alright, let's continue. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges, where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. "So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet?" Dice roll. It's a 4. I will stay silent. "Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky." Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech. His headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. What a sentence. Its irising eye. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he is just figuring out what to do with you. Rolling the dice. Oh, that's cocked. We gotta roll again. I didn't know it could do that. It's a 3, so that's gonna be the second option. What happened to them? He ignores your question. "I won't ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation, and I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property." You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well then, no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. Rolling. It's a 2. What's the eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. And nod. Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the Rex, his drones already converging on a rusty hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Tutorial introduction. Welcome to Erland's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. The empty container, your home for now. I guess I will end the cycle. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. I was kind of hoping to stop, but I guess it's just going to continue. The container. You wake up curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed, its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Well, let's roll a dice and find out. What matters is a 4, which is going to be the second one. What matters is getting answers. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What SNARP did to you cannot be forgiven. Or forgotten. Cannot be forgiven or cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change that, but you'll have to learn to survive first. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. Sachets. Wow, what is that word? Oh, sachet. Of course, I should have known. Sachets are perfumed powder bags that people used to wear in olden times. I don't know why that word is being used in a far-flung future cyberpunk game, but there it is. A makeshift electric stove and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. Said desiccated powder, presumably being some kind of perfume, if they're using the word sachet. That's a confusing sentence. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. Okay, that's not what the word sachet means. As the pungent smell washes over you, images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns, burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking that you begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Tutorial 1. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, your condition will also deplete at double rate per cycle. So the top bar is condition, which is like hit points. The second one is my action dice. And the third bar down here is the energy bar, which is like my hunger level. Huh. Okay. I get it. Kind of. Can I save the game? Can I do some options? Music level, yeah, let's turn that down, because it is super loud. Default scene text, should probably, I could, oh, it's already large, so that's fine. I'm actually going to stop here because I'm not really intrigued yet. This isn't really the kind of game I wanted to play right now, actually, anyway. I was looking more for a, like, turn-based RPG, like, more like, you know, Pillars of Eternity or Baldur's Gate or something like that. This is not that kind of game. I will save this game for some other time, but I mean, it's kind of cool so far. It's very low-key, interesting sort of a setting, somewhat. I mean, it's not thrilling, but perhaps something interesting will happen. I can see where, I can see the possibility where something interesting could happen based on your choices, although so far, the choices have not seemed very, divergent in the story so far. But I guess that's because I'm still in the tutorial. Alright, well, I'm going to play something else for now.